I'd like to say good morning. It's July 8th or something like that. I'm not sure. I'm trying to speak calmly. I'm in the midst of like strong emotion, and so I'm just gonna try to say what I want to say as clearly as I can. So I start my day like always with prayer, and like always, I notice that I seem to be in some sort of paradise. And as always, I seek guidance and to seek the higher wisdom. So I decided to do a consult the oracle, and this is what I say. Gracious Lord of awe and beauty and might, I seek your guidance in my heart, in your temple, in the birds and deer and sky and trees and rivers and seas and mountains and rocks and wind and fire and love. I consult the oracle and the sages of the ages, my friends and brothers and sisters, mentors, teachers, lovers, guides, saints, and prophets of the mystic tide, and pray that when we come together, no force may evermore divide. In unity and sisterhood and brotherhood, all humanity arise. In the period of waiting and nourishment, I consult the oracle of Ching. Pray tell, who is it most important? I see, I soon see and meet. How quickly can they should they come? Or should it be me that to the angel runs? Om Shanti, Om Shanti, Om Shanti. Amen. And I consulted the oracle. And the oracle I drew in response to my question was heaven, the creative, number one. The sort of energy running through me is kind of hard to explain, but I feel like sort of like a live wire. The first hexagram, Qian, is made up of 6 unbroken lines. These unbroken lines stand for the primal power, which is light-giving, active, strong, and of the spirit. The hexagram is consistently strong in character, and since it is without weakness, its essence is power or energy. Its image is heaven. Its energy is represented as unrestricted by any fixed conditions in space, and is therefore conceived of as motion. Time is regarded as the basis of this motion. Thus, the hexagram includes also the power of time and the power of persisting in time, that is, duration. The power represented by the hexagram is to be interpreted in a dual sense, in terms of its action on the universe and of its action on the world of men. In relation to the universe, the hexagram expresses the strong creative action of the deity. In relation to the human world, it denotes the creative action of the holy man or sage, of the ruler or leader of men who through his power awakens and develops their higher nature. And here we come to the judgment. The creative work's sublime success, furthering through perseverance. According to the original meaning, the attributes, sublimity, potentiality of success, power to further, perseverance, are paired. When an individual draws this oracle, it means that success will come to him from the primal depths of the universe, and that everything depends upon his seeking his happiness and that of others in one way only, that is, by perseverance in what is right. The specific meanings of the four attributes became the subject of speculation at an early date. The Chinese word here, great, that is why Confucius says in explaining it, quote, great indeed is the generating power of the creative. All beings owe their beginning to it. This power permeates all heaven. For this attribute inheres in the other three as well. The beginning of all things lies still in the beyond in the form of ideas that have yet to become real, but the creative, furthermore, has power to lend form to these archetypes of ideas. This is indicated in the word success, and the process is represented by an image from nature. The clouds pass, and the rain does its work, and all individual beings flow into their forms. Applied to the human world, these attributes show the great man the way to notable success. Because he sees with great clarity causes and effects, he completes the 6 steps at the right time and mounts toward heaven on them at the right time, as though on 6 dragons. The 6 steps are the 6 different positions given in the hexagram, which are represented later by the dragon symbol. Here it is shown that the way to success lies in apprehending and giving actuality to the way of the universe, Tao, which, as a law running through end and beginning, brings about all phenomena in time. Thus, each step attained forthwith becomes a preparation for the next. Time is no longer a hindrance, but the means of making actual what is potential. The act of creation, having found expression in the two attributes, sublimity and success, the work of conservation is shown to be a continuous actualization and differentiation of form. This is expressed in the two terms furthering, literally creating that which accords with the nature of a given being, and persevering, literally correct and firm. The course of the creative alters and shapes beings until each attains its true specific nature. Then it keeps them in conformity with the great harmony. Thus does it show itself to further through perseverance. In relation to the human sphere, this shows how the great man brings peace and security to the world through his activity in creating order. Quote, he towers high above the multitudes of beings, and all lands are united in peace. End quote. Another line of speculation goes still further in separating the word sublime, success, furthering, perseverance, and parallels them with the four cardinal virtues in humanity. To sublimity, which as the fundamental principle embraces all the other attributes, it links love. To the attribute success are linked the mores, which regulate and organize the expressions of love and thereby make them successful. Mores is the word chosen to render the German word Sitte when the latter refers, as in the present instance, to what the Chinese know as Li. However, neither mores nor any other available English word such as manners or customs conveys an adequate idea of what Li stood for in ancient China, because none of them necessarily denotes anything more than behavior growing out of and regulated by tradition. The ideas for which Li stands seem to have had their origin in a religious attitude to life and in ethical principles developing out of that attitude. On the religious side, Li meant the observance with true piety of the ritual through which the will of heaven was interpreted and made to prevail on earth. On the moral side, meant the sense of propriety understood to be innate in man, that through training makes possible right relationships in personal life and in society. Li was the cornerstone upon which Confucius built in his effort to bring out of chaos in his era. See the sacred books of the East. Obedience to the code of Li was entirely self-imposed as regards the superior man, who in feudal times was always a man of rank. The conduct of the inferior man, the lower class individual, was governed by law. Obedience to the code of Li was entirely self-imposed as regards to the superior man, who in feudal times was always a man of rank. The conduct of the inferior man, the lower class individual, was governed by law. This attribute furthering is correlated with justice, which creates the conditions in which each receives that which accords with his being, that which is due him, and which constitutes his happiness. This attribute, perseverance, is correlated with wisdom, which discerns the immutable laws of all that happen, and can therefore bring about enduring conditions. These speculations, already broadened in the commentary called Wen Yen, later formed the bridge connecting the philosophy of the 5 stages of change. It's laid down in the book of history, Shu Qing, with the philosophy of the book of changes, which is based solely on the polarity of positive and negative principles. In the course of time, this combination of the 2 systems of thought opened the way for an increasingly intricate number symbolism. All right, now we see the image of heaven as the hexagram we've drawn for this oracle. The image. The movement of heaven is full of power. Thus, the superior man makes himself strong and untiring. Since there is only one heaven, the doubling of the trigram Chien, of which heaven is the image, indicates the movement of heaven. One complete revolution of heaven makes a day, and the repetition of the trigram means that each day is followed by another, this creating the idea of time. Since it is the same heaven moving with untiring power, there is also created the idea of duration, both in and beyond time, a movement that never stops, nor slackens, just as one day follows another in an unending course. This duration in time is the image of the power inherent in the creative. With this image as a model, the sage learns how best to develop himself so that his influence may endure. He must make himself strong in every day by consciously casting out all that is inferior and degrading. Thus he attains that tirelessness which depends upon consciously limiting the fields of his activity. The lines. 9 at the beginning means hidden dragon. Do not act. We've still got a little ways to go. But, thank you. Do not act. So, waiting continues. Namaste. Alright, let's see. Hidden dragon, do not act. In China, the dragon has a meaning altogether different from that given it in the Western world. The dragon is a symbol of that electrically charged, dynamic, arousing force that manifests itself in the thunderstorm. In winter, this energy withdraws into the earth. In the early summer, it becomes active again, appearing in the sky as thunder and lightning. As a result, the creative forces on earth begin to stir again. Here, this creative force is still hidden beneath the earth and therefore has no effect. In terms of human affairs, this symbolizes a great man who is still unrecognized. Nonetheless, he remains true to himself. He does not allow himself to be influenced by outward success or failure, but confident in his strength, he bides his time. Hence it is wise for the man who consults the oracle and draws this line to wait in the calm strength of patience. The time will fulfill itself. One need not fear lest strong will should not prevail. The main thing is not to expend one's powers prematurely in an attempt to obtain by force something for which the time is not yet ripe. 9 in the second place. Oh, by the way, we did have 9 in the first place. And we also have 9 in the second place. 9 in the second place means dragon appearing in the field. It furthers one to see the great man. Here, the effects of the light-giving power begin to manifest themselves. In terms of human affairs, this means that the great man makes his appearance in his chosen field of activity. As yet he has no commanding position, but is still with his peers. However, what distinguishes him from the others is his seriousness of purpose, his unqualified reliability, and the influence he exerts on his environment without conscious effort. Such a man is destined to gain great influence and to set the world in order. Therefore, it is favorable to see him. 9 in the third place, we don't have. 9 in the fourth place, we do not have. Um, let's see. Oh wow, 9. So that's it. Well, thank you. Thank you for participating in the Oracle with me. By watching, you have added a slight modicum, or perhaps an intensely powerful, vastly unmeasurable amount of power to this divination ritual, which is done with complete and perfect piety and serious purpose to achieve the will of heaven and manifest the kingdom of heaven on earth. Yes, I say it like I mean it, and I know it sounds either crazy or scary. I cannot help it. I just say what I say and read what I read and leave the rest to manifest. Wow. And if you could really get a feeling of intensity and the passion, my love, you would probably say, well, depending on who you are, you would probably say, lock that man up somewhere. He's dangerous. All right. Well, as long as I meant it to be. Um, so that's what I did this morning. And now I go and do something else. Okay, a lot of things: gardening, singing, art, writing. I love you.